Hi, we are going to keep talking about niches because, like we said earlier, this is the most important aspect of your channel, so we really want you to be well instructed about this. To have a clear idea about the best niches to pursue, which ones are not worth trying, and to give you a better understanding of what they are and what we can expect from them. For this, we created a tier list of some niches, the most used when it comes to YouTube automation. The niches are going to be ranked from S to F, S being the best niches and F the worst of them. The niches we are going to rank are meditation, sports, travel, education, movies and TV, gadgets, wealth, crypto, personal finance, gaming, space, celebrities, compilation, make money online, motivation, horror, economy, drawing, digital marketing, history, cars, cooking, health, and search-based. Yes, there are more niches you can explore, but we think this list covers the most popular ones. To start with the right foot on this, let's take the bandage off at the very beginning. So we are starting with the meditation niche. We know you have seen a lot of people in YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram telling you to start a YouTube channel about meditation, but this simply doesn't work anymore. Like we said earlier in this course, meditation channels are not monetizable these days because YouTube knows people are not actually watching the video. They just click play, close their eyes, and meditate or sleep. We saw a channel earlier that was making really good numbers, but there's still to see how high their CPM was. He also made very clear on the description that he was the composer of all the music on his video. He is not using another people's work. For this reason, let's not give to this niche more time than needed and give it an F. And now, sports. This niche is on fire lately because it can gather massive amount of people. Millions of people love anything basketball, football, or soccer related. It is also pretty easy to niche down. Let's take soccer as an example. You could niche down by making your channel related to just a popular team like Real Madrid or Barcelona. Maybe you can talk about transfers or rumors, or you can make a channel about South American football, or talk about young players. There are so many niches you can target, and you can do this with almost every sport. People are very passionate about sports, and that's something you can take advantage of. In fact, I'm pretty sure that some of you watching this course are very passionate about some sport, and that can make it easier for you to keep you interested in your channel and give you an edge about what kind of videos people like you want to watch. Also, coming up with videos ideas in the sports niche is not very difficult, and there will always be something new to serve as inspiration. The cost of making a video in this niche is something around $50 and $60. So, it can be very beginner friendly. Getting views in this niche can be fairly easier than in other niches, and growth can be exponential when done right. So we are giving the sports niche a rank of A. The reason we are not giving sports an S rank is because you have to be careful about copyright, because you can easily fall into a copyright complaint. Sports brands like the NBA and TV companies like ESPN are very jealous of their content, so that's something you should keep in mind if you decide to start a sports channel. Moving on in this list, we are ranking the travel niche. This was a great niche a few years ago and is getting a lot of traction again. There's a lot of copyright-free footage you can find in most cities' tourism websites. The competition a few years ago wasn't so fierce, meaning the small number of channels exploiting this niche were getting a lot of views. Now there is more competition, but you can still find new channels getting some love, which is awesome. Things have changed since many people realized that and started creating channels in this niche. The CPM in this niche is relatively high, meaning you can get away with it even without having many views every month. On the other side, there are possibilities to land deals with traveling agencies and make an extra buck. The videos in this niche are not very complicated, and they can cost something from $60 up to $80 to make. So this time we are going to give the travel niche a rank of B, because it is kind of difficult to give your videos a personal touch to stand out from the crowd. The next niche is one that has a lot of potential if played right. The education niche. This does not mean you're going to teach middle school topics. Watch this from the point of view of a business owner. People wanting to learn something are people that are predisposed to buy something. It could be a course, a book, or maybe a software. What does this mean? It means there are companies willing to pay top money to make their products visible in YouTube ads, trying to sell the result to viewers, which translates to education being a high CPM niche. Most of the videos you create in this niche are more likely to be evergreen topics, so your videos will keep getting views for a very long time. Taking into account there are so many topics you could teach and so many sub-niches you could explore, we are giving the education niche a rank of A. Why not an S rank if they are evergreen topics and have a higher than usual CPM? Because most likely you would need to have some level of knowledge to teach these topics in your channel, and can be difficult to find freelancers who are experts in these topics to help you out. Also, for you to have a very good shot on ranking your video on YouTube, you would need to niche down a bit, which means you have a smaller universe of potential viewers that could be interested in your videos. This doesn't mean it's not worth trying. If that wasn't the case, we wouldn't put this niche so high on the list. Now we are diving into the movies and TV niche. This is some of these niches where you can stay broad and talk about a bunch of shows, or you can niche down into a specific show like The Office, Family Guy, or maybe go broader and talk about cartoons or anime in general. These kinds of topics usually have a very solid fan base to which you can try and aim your efforts. One thing to keep in mind if you want to make a channel about a specific show is try to not end up trapped because you ran out of ideas or content to work with. Creating a video in this niche can be very beginner friendly, with costs being around $1.50 per video. There are many channels making bank in this niche, and with so many new streaming platforms going live every year, you won't run out of content to work with because there will always be demand of entertainment. For all these reasons, we give the movies and TV niche a well-deserved A rank. The next niche is a peculiar one because the main goal is not to get revenue from AdSense but to get sales commissions from affiliate links. The gadget niche is one that can confuse many beginners. How are you going to make videos about gadgets you can't physically touch? Well, you can buy them, but the production cost of every video would be astronomical. What you can do is use the content created by the brands to make your own videos. When doing this, you should always give it a personal touch. Don't simply copy-paste the content, or at least try not to. So, as you can see, it can be easier than you think to create a gadget video. To start doing this, you definitely need to open an affiliate account. The best for this would be Amazon. But because it can be kind of difficult to get a lot of views and subscribers, and you also need to open an account outside YouTube, which is an extra step that can be tricky for people not living in the US, we give the gadgets niche a B rank. One of the niches that are getting a lot of traction in recent years in the wealth niche. People are intrigued about how the life of the wealthy is really like, what kind of toys they have, how their houses look like. It's like having access to something that sadly most people will never experience. There are many channels talking about the newest car Cristiano Ronaldo bought, LeBron James's new mansion, or maybe the weirdest things billionaires have in their homes, and are making good money because this niche has a high CPM. This created a fierce competition, making it kind of difficult to rank, but it's very much worth to give it a try, keeping in mind that it takes a lot of research to create these videos, reason why the production costs can be a little pricier than usual, going around $100. In conclusion, it can be kind of expensive to start a channel in this niche, but if it turns out to be successful, you'd be sitting on a lot of money. So we are giving this niche a B as well. Now we're going to talk about the crypto niche. A couple of years ago, when everyone was talking about it, there were a lot of sub-niches to explore and a broad audience eager to consume these kinds of videos. They wanted to learn what crypto is, different coins, and what technologies they use, that sort of thing. There were dozens of crypto channels making a lot of money, not just through AdSense, but through promotions as well. Now the tables have turned, and this niche is not a path of roses anymore. Most of the interest has been lost due to market volatility and scandals. There are only a few couple of channels left making good money. Even though there are a lot of people interested in crypto, most of them have a solid knowledge in the topic, meaning you have to create very well-made videos with up-to-date information, or else you could get roasted on the comments section. In order to achieve this, you need to hire a scriptwriter that is well-versed in crypto, which is not so easy to find, and more likely they will charge you more than usual, elevating the costs of production up to $100 or more. There's a chance in the future for crypto to become relevant again, but right now, it is not a good bet unless you have a lot of knowledge in the subject. For these reasons, we rank it on E. Many people are turning their view to YouTube when looking for advice about personal finance, meaning this niche has a lot of potential when done right. There are already big channels in it making an absurd amount of money every month. The niche gets even more appealing when you realize the CPM is very high depending on the subject. There are many sub-niches to explore and categories to use so you can stand out from the crowd. Animation videos are a good option, as well as documentaries, leveraging on famous product stories from which people can get a better understanding on how to manage their finances. Trying to compete with big channels can be a little pricey, something between $100 and $150, which is pretty high in the spectrum. But if you manage to gather a good team and have a clear idea of how to stand out from the crowd, it could be a very much rewarding niche. For having a lot of potential, we are giving it in B. Gaming probably was the crib of many really big YouTubers because video games are the biggest entertainment industry in the world. The universe of people interested in video games is massive, and you can take advantage of that. It can be kind of tricky to manage a team in order to create the videos because the most appealing ones have actual gameplay in it. So it is most likely you will be dealing with a lot of very young freelancers. This can lower the cost of the video down to $40. But you may end up with a few headaches. Not to mention that you will have to compete with these teenagers who are already uploading videos by themselves and have a better knowledge of what the audience wants to see. Another problem with this niche is that most of the audience is pretty young and don't have a lot of spending power, meaning the CPM will be low, forcing you to generate millions of views if your goal is to generate life-changing income. For these reasons, we are giving the gaming niche a D. Everything space-related is picking up a lot of interest, especially after Elon Musk started to make significant advances with SpaceX. This niche doesn't have a lot of competition, but it has channels that are doing really well. It can be kind of difficult to find a team able to create really good videos because having some level of knowledge can make a big difference. You should be able to create a good video with a budget of $70, which is nice if you, as the owner, have a personal interest in this topic. You should be able to differentiate from the crowd. The content in this topic can be repetitive, but I can throw you a bone about this. NASA's content is copyright free by law, so you can use the content from their website without any worries. Of course, you should always use the content to create an original video. You can't upload NASA's content without giving it a personal touch because you won't be able to monetize it. Since this niche is growing fast and there's not much competition yet, we are giving it a B rank. The next niche we are covering is good as an entry level because it is simpler to make a video and get traction fast. Celebrities are usually making drama, something fun, something people really want to see, and you can take advantage of that. Also, it is very simple to come up with video ideas because all you have to do is to keep an eye on the news. Almost every day there will be something worthy of making a video about. What can be kind of difficult is to create a channel around a specific celebrity. If this celebrity is quiet for a while, you would be stuck with reusing content, which is not the best idea. Because of this, it has become quite competitive, so you will need to find your own edge in order to differentiate from others' channels. Making a video in this niche is not very expensive because you don't need to have a knowledgeable script writer. Something around $60 will do just fine. Because there's a lot of competition and the content for making new videos can fluctuate a lot. We are giving a C to this niche. Another niche that is going through the same path as meditation is the compilation niche. There are a lot of so-called gurus telling you to download videos from TikTok and put them together to create a compilation video, upload it to YouTube and make money. That is not possible anymore because YouTube won't let you monetize them. There are probably very old channels that are monetized and for some reason haven't been caught yet. But it's a big no when it comes to new channels. That said, you can make money with this kind of channel through affiliate marketing. A big difference between the meditation niche and the compilation niche is that with compilation videos, people are actually watching the video, so you can try to sell them something. Either way, because you can't get monetized with AdSense, we are giving the compilation niche a D. Given the high costs of life, there are millions of people going to YouTube searching for a way to earn more money, especially online. The make money online niche is a highly competitive but highly rewarding niche. One thing about the make money online niche is that most of the topics won't be relevant for long, meaning you will have to be covering different and new upcoming side hustles in order to stay relevant in this space. Because of the heavy competition you will face, you'd need to come up with something to help you differentiate from the crowd. But you'd also have lots of opportunities to monetize your channel with promotions, affiliate links, and more. These added to the high CPM this niche usually generates, going from around $12 up to $40, depending on the topic you're covering. You could get away with very cheap cost of production, which is always a nice thing to do. But because of the difficult entry barrier, we are giving it a C. We saw a couple of big channels from the next niche in this course already. Motivation channels seem to be a safe enough place to start your YouTube business, but the harsh truth is it can be very difficult to stand out when there's not enough margin of differentiation. There are already a few of big channels kind of hoarding the space. Maybe I haven't done a deep enough research, but it seems like there are no new channels breaking through in this niche. All you have to do is download the audio from a motivational speech, throw some B-roll over it, or maybe use shorts clips from different interviews to create this kind of videos. Sounds easy enough, but it can be a very tedious task. For all these reasons, we are giving a D to this niche. The horror niche is one with plenty room to growth because most of the videos about it are compilations which cannot be monetized. But if you pay attention, you will see there are many people interested in this topic. There are a few channels that are making almost Hollywood-level horror stories, but you shouldn't be too worried about that because there is plenty of room for horror stories. In this case, we are referring to the horror niche, including horror movies, horror stories, crime stories, all the kind of stories that can make the viewers cringe. You also can be very creative about the way you want to make your videos. So, we can talk about a budget around $70 to create this kind of videos. Many people are using Reddit stories as their source of video ideas for this niche, and it seems to work pretty well. This can be a far-fetched, but remember, using other people's stories is a risk. Slenderman started as an online story and ended up being copyrighted, so be aware of that. Besides that, it is a very promising niche, so we are going to give it an A. Currently, there are more and more people that turn to YouTube to get a clearer idea of what's happening in the world. And you can take advantage of that. The economy niche is a very interesting place to explore because many people are stopping to rely on the news to form their opinions. Many would rather have a more comprehensive insight about a subject, and that is when a channel like this comes to shine. You could talk about something that is happening at the moment and how it could affect the market, new laws, or maybe niche down to Wall Street. There are plenty of topics you could work with, but you should also keep in mind that most of the people that search for this kind of topics are well versed and they demand a higher level of video production. We are talking of videos from $100 and more. So this is definitely not a beginner-friendly niche unless you have the money to try breaking through this space. That said, because there is a lot of money to be made given the high CPM this kind of niche has, we are giving it a B. There's a very underground niche you can try. Not many people have turned their attention to it yet, which can be both good or bad. It can be good because there's not much competition. It can be bad because it's still not a proven, solidified concept. The drawing niche is lately getting more relevant. This doesn't mean you are going to film yourself drawing. Well, you could, and that would make your productions cost considerably cheaper. But for the majority of us, drawing is not our best skill. What you can do is to hire someone who can actually draw, or you can use animation software, which can make the process even simpler. Remember to put some voiceover and captions on the video, because if you don't make it an original creation, you won't be able to monetize it. There's plenty of room to grow, and just a few weeks ago, I remember that just typing how to on YouTube's search bar, the first autocomplete recommendation was how to draw Mario, because the Mario Brothers movie was top 1 on the charts, meaning you can surf the trend and get a lot of views doing it. The best part is this content is evergreen. Even if Nintendo does not launch a new Mario movie or game for a couple of years, there will still be people looking for tips on how to draw Mario because it has very, very big fan base. But because it still has to be proven, we are giving it a B. In these days, social media is king on content consumption. The amount of time people spend on social media is more than 2.5 hours per day, and teenagers easily duplicate that number, meaning there's a lot of money you can make with digital marketing. This also means there are people wanting to learn about this subject. The CPM on the digital marketing niche can go really high depending on the subject. But even though Facebook is almost 20 years old, most likely you won't get millions of views on these videos. You can compensate that with affiliate marketing, high CPM, and promotions. If you have a good base of knowledge in the subject, you should consider starting a channel in this niche. If you have no idea about it, you can still try to make it. The only difference is your research process will be longer. The cost of production for this niche could be around $80. We are giving digital marketing an A because there's a lot of money to be made. Old things can sometimes become new again, and history automation channels are just that. They have been around for only 5 years or so, but have managed to grab a lot of subscribers. This is not a beginner-friendly niche because the production's costs are super high in comparison to others. You need to hire high-level freelancers to create high-level content. Most of the videos in this niche are very long, look like documentaries. Maybe there's a chance to disrupt into this niche by creating more condensed content for people who can't spend 1 hour or more watching a video. But that would be a bet you should be willing to take. The nature of this content makes it evergreen. But most of these channels took around a year to actually start getting good traction. Because of this reason, history channels get a D in this ranking. There is a lot of people who are very passionate about cars. But curious enough, there are not many cars-related channels that are niching down, turning this into a very good opportunity for you. There are so many topics you could cover like tuning, production process, comparisons, mechanics, and so much more. It won't be difficult to find a team who's passionate about cars that could bring an edge into the table. So you could probably make a really good video with a budget around $70. If you do some research, you could also realize that big channels in this space are not continuously uploading videos. If you are able to outpost them, you will have a very good chance of getting a piece of this market and make yourself a name. Brand deals could also be possible if you manage to gather a good number of subscribers. Maybe some sort of affiliate marketing for brands merchandise as well. Because there's a lot of growth to be achieved within this niche, we are giving it an A. The reason we are not giving it an S is because this is not an evergreen content. The next niche is the most delicious of them all, the cooking niche. I can guarantee that someone in your family, including yourself, have turned to YouTube in search for a recipe, and there are channels making bank in this niche. Brand deals, affiliate marketing, and merchandising are all a possibility. The downside is that it can be kind of difficult to produce a cooking video with full automation. You can hire a chef, but it won't be cheap. You could also differ from recipes videos and talk about the story of some famous chef or maybe a famous dish or product. It probably won't have that search-based condiment, but it could generate a lot of interest either way. Truth to be told, having an interest in cooking is almost a requirement. So we are giving the cooking niche a C. I'm not the biggest fan of the following niche. I started a channel in it but got bored pretty fast. It was one of the very first channels I created, so I still was figuring out how niche selection works. The health niche actually is a very lucrative one. The problem I had with it is that generating faceless content about health topics is not as fun as working out in real life. But there are channels making really good money in this topic. You could talk about working out, healthy tips, maybe about a specific diet. People searching for topics like these are predisposed to spend money in products that could help them reach their goals faster. So yeah, maybe I'm a little biased on this one, but to the health niche, I'm going to give it a C, simply because it is way more appealing for this topic to actually see a person talking about it rather than some B-roll and voiceover. We have finally come to the final niche of this ranking. I bet you are thinking, the next one will definitely be an S rank because we haven't talked about one of those yet. And you are right, the search-based niche is by far the best niche you could enter, and now we are going to explain why. Search-based means the content you're posting on YouTube is not relying on the recommendation algorithm, but on what people are actively searching for on YouTube. Most of the content are tutorials, but you can always come up with something new. Evergreen content means your videos will keep getting views for years and years to come, creating a compounding effect that will make you get paid more and more month by month. The cost of producing this kind of videos is very low because most of them are screencast videos which have very little editing on it. It's not all perfect because it can be difficult for this kind of channels to gain subscribers. Most of the people searching for this content just want to learn how to do something. They're not looking to engage with the channel, but it is doable. So when you combine a really good exposition with a compounding effect of views and low cost of productions, the result is an S-rank niche. And this is the end of this class. I really hope you have a better understanding of the different niches, their pros and cons. And hopefully, while watching this, you already came up with a clear idea of what kind of niche you want to pursue. If you still need more information to make a decision, don't worry, because on the next class, we are going to break down which are the best paying niches, and we'll also explain a Venn diagram of YouTube automation niches. If you are more of a visual individual, this will be perfect for you. Let's keep going.